So thank you, Erin, for joining. Um, so I'm recording this just for everyone else that couldn't join us and didn't have the opportunity to join because you're at work or for whatever reason. This call is specifically geared towards helping you guys with your conversations. So there's always parts of every conversation, even mine, that becomes awkward, or people don't respond to you, or people keep telling you no, and that is completely normal. And I've heard those objections on a daily basis for a year and a half. So I'm not saying that I am great at conversations and I am a wizard at them and can manage any conversation, but I have found what works really well for me and has been able to turn no's into yeses, if not in the same month down the road. So I'm hoping that this can help you identify those common objections, because really there's only maybe 4 that I can think of that are the main ones. Every single excuse rolls up into one of those. So Erin is the only one currently on the call now, so we can start with any of your questions and conversations that you have, and then we have, I think, 6 of them that were posted in the group that I'll cover after that, and we can jump into those. And then at the very end, I came up with just 2 tips that I have for all conversations, because if you think about it, conversations is this business. You need to be, even if you don't post at all, you need to be talking to people on a daily basis and following up with them. That is where your success will happen. So it's so important to not get down on yourself and just keep pushing forward, keep inviting, keep talking to people every day. So I'll come up with those 2 tips that I thought of. So Erin, do you have any existing conversations or past conversations that have just been like terrible for you, or any objections?
Well, I think someone posted this in the group, but definitely the things I've gotten the most are, we have a long conversation about their fitness goals and this great program for them, and then they ask about the costs. And then after we talk about, I reiterate the value and then give them the price, they either don't respond or just say flat out no. And I don't really know where to go from there. So.
Okay. Yeah. So just to recap what you said, because the first part of that is perfect. All the time, people, before I even tell them what the group is, they're like, how much does it cost? And what you are doing is perfect. You tell them about what the group is, what they'll get with it, talk about some programs, and at the very end, come up with the cost. That's where 99% of the objections come in. So if after you tell them the cost and the value and everything that they're getting, if they just don't respond, that is when I add them to my follow-up list. And I will follow up with someone 3 times before moving them out to a different month. So today is June 12th. If I shared with someone a price today and they you can tell that they saw it, but they didn't respond, tomorrow or Sunday, usually 1 to 2 days later, I'll send a follow-up and come right to the point. I'll be like, hey, did you get a chance to read through everything you'll get in the challenge pack? If so, what did you think? If they don't respond after that, then I'll wait another 2 days. And then I'll send something similar like, hey, how are you? Just curious if you're still interested in joining my group. So I'll take the focus away from the cost. I'll just say, are you still interested? And then I'll usually wait until like a Friday, which could be another 2 days, or depending on when you started this, it could be a week. I wait till Friday because that's typically payday. And I'll reach out to them again and just say, hey, the group is filling up really fast. I'd love to have you join us. Are you still interested, or would you still like to? I end with a question, because a question prompts a response rather than let me know if you're still interested, which is what I used to say. So now always end with a question. If by those 3 times you're still getting ignored and you're seeing that they can see the message, then add them to the next month. So by then it would be what? June 19th, almost the end of the month. They are still going to see your posts on Facebook or social media, and they're just, now is not the right time. And it has to be the right time for the person or else even if they sign up with you, they may not stick with a program. They won't be participating in your groups very often. So it really is all about timing for them. So don't take any offense to it. Simply move them to reach out to them in July. Or if they mentioned previously one of their concerns, like maybe this is a busy month, but tell me more about the group, then write that note down. And in July, say, hey, last month was so busy for you. I know you're interested in joining, but it wasn't great timing. Would you like to join my group on July 4th or whatever? So in conclusion, quickly, 3 follow-ups, and then I just push them out to a different month. And that happens all the time. You should see my contact list. I posted an example of it a couple months ago in the files tab, and it just keeps growing. And my next month is like literally probably 100 people, and it keeps growing. I just like move people around in different months, but that list is ever growing. And even if you don't reach out to all of those follow-ups, push them out to a different month, and you'll always have those people to follow up with.
How successful are your follow-ups typically?
It really depends. I can give you a few examples. One time I was thinking that I wanted to try and reach out to my past clients and to spur another purchase, whether it be Shakeology or a new challenge pack, because you can get up to 4 points per client. So at the time I had 75 people that were my past clients that had already purchased something. I reached out, I just copied and pasted the same message, and like 2 people got back to me. Another example is I posted my Insanity Max 30 results, and I again copied and pasted the same thing to like 100 people that had liked it, and probably 5 people got back to me. But those 5 people and the 2 people I still talk to today, and it's more of like that relationship building. So ideally they would have purchased something from me, but they told me they supported me, that they loved my results, and I'm like, great, if you ever want to see results yourself, let me know. And we're still chatting. It doesn't always result in a follow-up and a challenge pack purchase, especially if you're doing something where they initially didn't tell you they were interested. But on the contrary, if I reach out to 50 people that have in the past been interested in joining my group, those are typically pretty successful for me. And I consider it a success even if they tell me no, because that's just furthering the conversation. So I have some people that told me in March they were interested, but they were still waiting for their taxes in April. And I reached out to them in June. And even if they said no, I moved them out to July, and it was still that relationship building. Because if you leave them in March and then follow up with them next March, they're going to be like, who are you again? Like, what was I interested? I don't even remember. So even those I do find are particularly useful. And most of those do result in challenge pack purchases that month or 2 months down the line.
Got it. And then just kind of a general question. I think this has been answered before, but what steps do you use to shift the conversation from that relationship building to I'm a fitness coach, here are the challenge packs, that kind of thing?
So what I usually do is so is this for new new people that you're friends with?
Yeah.
Yeah, so for anyone new, I always, within the first 5 messages I send to them, ask what they do. And typically that results in them saying, what do you do? That's the easiest way, is get that. You should be initiating the questions and get them to ask you what you do. And if you're a student, say, I'm going to a D1 school to play lacrosse and I'm a fitness coach. Or I say, I'm a full-time employee for GE and I'm a fitness coach. And usually they're like, oh, cool. And that's it. And I say, yeah, I wish I could do fitness coaching full-time. It's so much fun. Are you into health and fitness at all? So just everyone has health and fitness goals, even if it's the smallest thing, I walk 30 minutes a day, So get them to ask you what you do, and then ask if they have any health and fitness goals. If they say no, that's completely fine. They're, again, still going to see your posts. If you're posting on your personal page daily, they're going to see your stuff. So eventually they'll come around. Best case scenario, they'll join your group right away. And you can, if they're interested in health and fitness and straight out tell you that they are trying to lose weight, go right in for it and say, that's really awesome. I'm really proud of you for setting that goal for yourself. I have a group on June 22nd where a small group of us are going to be working out, eating healthy. Would you like to join us? And, you know, that's how I lead into it. And if they don't mention health and fitness at all, then I just leave it. I just ask about their kids or their dogs or whatever they're posting about.
And so then after you talk to them about their life, do you just drop the conversation, or kind of how does that move forward?
Yeah, so if health and fitness, after I tell them what my job is, doesn't come up and we're just talking about life, I'll just drop it. I'll say, well, I'm logging off for the night. Have a good one. And then I'll add them to my follow-up list or my contact list. It's one and the same for me. And I will just put their name down underneath July to let them know, or to remind myself, this person may be interested. I should send them an invite to my group. So actually an example of that is yesterday. And this will go to show you that even though I've been coaching for a year and a half, I'm still have some of the same feelings as a new coach. So yesterday I was like, okay, I need to reach out to 5 new people. And 2 people actually popped up on my news feed. One was a girl with her daughter who just graduated from pre-K, and another was a picture of an omelet, just 2 different people. And I was like, I get really nervous when I see people that I feel like are perfect for our team. If it's someone that I'm like, whatever, I have no problem reaching out to them. But if I don't want to mess it up and I get nervous and I'm like, what should I say? You know, and those, at this point in my business, I really only want to reach out to those people. So I'm really trying to step out of my comfort zone and find the people that to me would be a perfect coach. And I get nervous to reach out to them. And so yesterday I reached out to the girl with her kid that graduated from pre-K, and it was a really cute picture, and she was wearing these sunglasses. It was not even the point of the picture. And I just messaged her saying her pictures have been popping up on my news feed. Her daughter is adorable. And I was just really curious. I love your sunglasses. I bought a pair of Urban Outfitters and I lost them a month ago. Where are yours from? And she responded with Express, and we started talking a little bit. Not a huge conversation, just a little bit back and forth. And now I have her on my contact list because she knows who I am. You know, and then next month I'll take it a step further. So that's how I build relationships. The other person who had the picture of an omelet, same thing. I reached out to her, said that I saw a few photos on her newsfeed. Really, I saw the one, and then I stalked her page. And I was like, I saw the picture of an omelet. It looked delicious. And I was thinking to myself, what the hell, Sam? That's so stupid. Who would reply to that? But she responded. She was like, oh my God, that's so sweet of you. And I was like, oh, thanks. You know, I'm really trying to perfect my omelets. And she was like, oh, well, here's a tip. And she gave me these tips on how to make omelets. And it sounds so silly, and a lot of this building relationships is, but it really is just taking that step, asking a simple question like that. You don't even have to get into health and fitness, especially now where it's still the first half of the month, where you can afford to slow it down, to ask those silly questions. And then later in the month or even next month, then you can say, you know what, I am trying to have omelets for every day for breakfast instead of my shakes. And we're going to be doing this group where blah, blah, blah. Would you like to join? You know? So I get nervous talking to people, but you really just find something that you can talk about and then build it that way.
Awesome. Well, that's all I have.
So I'll jump into then some of the other topics that Dee Dee and Christine and Emma, I think, posted. The first one is price objection. And I said it before, I'll always say it. This is the number one objection. And if you think back to your own journey. Whoever recruited you to sign up for a challenge group or to coach, were you initially put off by the price? Were you like, oh my God, T25 is $205. That is way too expensive for me right now. Maybe that wasn't you. For me, it was. I was one of the people that was like, I'm going to sign up to coach, but not with anything because that's a ridiculous amount to pay. So I'll just get TurboFire. So I just got TurboFire. It was $80. And then I signed up my boyfriend with T25 because I was like, it's so valuable to get Shakeology plus a program at once. So I can completely relate to the price objection. And think back to when you started. If you can, then you're in the perfect spot. If money is no issue for you, this might be a little harder of a concept. But everyone has some type of concern with paying for a product like this, especially when they don't know the results that they're going to get. Obviously, you and I know that they can change their life with this. They can get healthier, happier, more confident, but they don't know that yet. So I have one thing that I say every single time that kind of rationalizes the cost. And then I'll mention two others that I know work really well for other people. So as Erin mentioned earlier, I never mention cost right away. I take the time to build the relationship, ask what their goals are and how their current nutrition is, suggest 2 programs, tell them about each program, tell them what comes in each program, and then I tell them the cost. So I'll say, 21-Day Fix is an awesome program. This comes to $140 each month, or $140 this month, and TurboFire comes to $180. I'll send it. My next phrase every single time is, Shakeology alone is $140 after shipping. So this is an amazing deal and such an effective program. What do you think? I copy and paste that every single time. And the reason I say that in particular is because before that, I make sure they're on board with Shakeology. I make sure that they know that Shakeology can help with weight loss, with energy, and I tie it back to the goals that they told me. So when I tell them that Shakeology is that much, and then they get a workout program, portion-controlled containers, a Shakeology cup, a free t-shirt, access to Beachbody on demand for free, basically, that like seals the deal. So for me, that is what works really well. I've given that advice to other coaches, and every coach is different and every client is different. So obviously that's not going to work for everyone. So the 2 other ones that work really well for other people is that you turn it back to investing in yourself. And I even have this as one of the examples in the Supercharged conversations where I say something along the lines of, $205 is pricey. I felt the same way when I first was interested in T25, but to be honest, you are investing in yourself, your happiness, and your health. And if you don't see results within whatever, 30 days or something, then you can return it for a full refund. So turning it back to them, their goals, and investing in themselves, that works really well sometimes. And saying that there's a refund after the 30 days, that is also a good one to throw in there. And then the last one, which I actually got from a tip from a coach that I was just on YouTube watching, is that she also focuses on Shakeology. So she makes sure that the client is committed to Shakeology and focuses a portion of that conversation on the benefits of Shakeology, the flavors and all of that. And then when it's time to come to the cost, she'll say, Insanity Max 30 this month is $205. So when you break it down, 140 of that will be from your grocery list because Shakeology is $140. That's about $4 a day for each meal that you will not be paying in your groceries. So really, $140 is a sunk cost. You'd be paying it for it anyways on your groceries. Now you're not going to. So really what you're paying is 140 minus 205, whatever that is. So she emphasizes that Shakeology is a sunk cost. It's free basically because you're paying for it anyways within your weekly groceries or monthly groceries. And then she'll just be like, so really Turbo Fire is only $40 or whatever. So I haven't tried that yet, but I may. I really like that because it's like, yeah, I do spend a lot of money for breakfast or lunch or dinner every single month. So it's just going towards that. So you can try that too. So another person asked, how do you respond to people that you invest in, you tell them about programs, and they're like, great, I'm going to go to Amazon and get it. Or I know this person who's selling it for $5. And that's happened to me. That is like, I want to wring their neck because I'm like, come on, seriously. But it does happen. People will do that. They think they're getting a better value. And really, I have one response that I say every time. And I simply let them know, you can do that. And before I go into my description, I always go to Amazon and Google or search whatever they're going to buy from me. So if they say they want Insanity Max 30, I'm going to Amazon to see how much they're selling it for, just so I can say, you may be getting free shipping, but they're charging you $100, whereas it's this much for us, and it's not always a better deal. So do your research and make sure that the price is similar. After that, after you're aware of what they're going to be spending on Amazon or whatever site they're getting it from, that is when you need to really think about the value of yourself and yourself as a coach. You have, even if you started yesterday, you have so much to share with these clients as their coach. You not only have all of the resources that Beachbody gives you, like the workout programs, the meal plans, training tips, all of that stuff, but you're into health and fitness yourself. You've been through some type of struggle in the past, or you're striving to reach a goal. And as a coach, you're relating to that client and helping them along the way. So what I tell them when people are like, I'm going to buy it from Amazon, I say, you feel free to do that. It does seem like it's a little bit cheaper, but if you were to order it through me, not only would you be getting myself as your personal coach to help you every single step of the way and to help you see results with your program, but you're also going to be getting Shakeology, portion-controlled containers, access to stream Beachbody on demand for 30 days for free, additional meal plans, access to chat with the trainers, you can win $500 a day just by logging your workouts. I think of everything that we offer as Team Beachbody, and it's so much. And if you've never thought about that, I suggest that you just take 2 minutes to think about everything that we have and in comparison to just purchasing something off Amazon. They'll get the program, but they won't get all of that. They won't get the community. They won't get you. They won't get Shakeology probably. So that is what I say. You won't get all of those things. And sometimes they're like, okay, thank you. And that's it. Other times they're like, oh, wow, a free t-shirt. I would love that. And so really just list out what they're not getting if they go to Amazon. And then honestly, probably 80% of the time they do end up coming back to me. If not for that program, down the line for a different program. It sucks. I hate hearing that, but that's the only way that I get around it. And I think I do have success with that because people can tell my passion for it when I explain that, other than saying like, okay, well, reach out to me if you need anything else, So we already talked about the no response at all. Again, so I follow up 3 times and then add them to my contact list. If you don't get a response and you're seeing that they haven't seen your message, so they're not really ignoring you, they just haven't seen your message, then I go a different route. If I don't have their phone number or their email address, I will post on their wall and I'll post about something that they mentioned. So like if they said they were enjoying the warm weather, I'll comment on their post and be like, oh my God, it's so warm here too. I love it. The summer's here. Hey, by the way, check your messages. I'll just prompt them to check their messages somehow. The last one was maybe next time. So sometimes people will flat out tell you no, or maybe next time, or I'll let you know, and then they don't get back to you. And honestly, when people say that, I accept it. One of my tips is that you can't force anything on anyone, especially in this business. And you wouldn't want to, because if you are talking to someone about getting insanity. And they're just not mentally or physically or just ready at all for the program and for the commitment of your group, then like I said earlier, they're not going to be a good client. They may return it. They may not engage with the group, and it's really not a great time for them. So if they say maybe next time, or I'll let you know, and then they don't respond to your messages, I accept it and I say, okay, great. I'll let you know if this program ever goes on sale. Plus, I host groups every single month. So whenever you're ready, I'm here for you. Just let them know that it's totally fine that they're not ready now. You'll be here for them when they're ready. I say that again on a daily basis. And then I add them to my contact list for the next month or for 3 months or something. So that happens. I think it's really helpful to be that understanding, even when it's the 30th of the month and you need one more challenge pack sale. People will respect you for understanding rather than feeling pressured to buy a challenge pack from you. And it will pay off in the long run. They'll come back. They always do. Okay, and now Christine had a question. She said, when they are interested and want to purchase something but never do, then ignore you when you message them later. So yeah, with that, I get that too. I get people that say, great, I'll purchase on Friday. Thanks so much. I'll reach out to them on Friday. They ignore me, or they just don't see the message and something. That happens again all the time. And I relate it back to them not being ready. It's not a priority for them right now, which, you know what, it sucks. But the fact that they were so committed and so ready to purchase is actually a good sign for you next month. Again, move them to your contact list for the next month, and then you have a great starting point. You can say, hey, we talked last month, whatever it was, March, April, whatever, and you were really ready to go to join my fitness group with Insanity Max 30. I know it wasn't great timing for you, but I have a new group starting. Do you want to join? And you have that whole conversation to refer back to. So you can refer back to what their goals were, or tell them that a certain program is on sale. So don't think of that as, I know it sucks when people say they're going to buy something from you and they don't, but that just puts you at an even better position for next month. So, and you can really think of that with all of these relationships, all these people you're moving out to the next month. Don't think that it's a waste of time, because that is where your business grows. Even if you get only 3 people to help this month and 75 people that you didn't help because they didn't need your help right now, that's 75 people next month that you can reach out to. May was a very slow month for me. I still hit Success Club and I hit probably half of my goals, if that. But so far in June, I'm already at my goals because of all of those failed conversations that I've just moved to this month. So never feel down on yourself about not making a sale or if someone ignores you, because they will come around. If not next month, definitely down the road. So it happens to us all. Don't feel like you were rejected. And if you've never read the book Go for No, it's a really great book. One stat that they have is that people don't commit typically to anything until the 4th follow-up, 4th or 5th. So that means you can start a conversation in June, and 4 months from now, that is when they'll purchase. They need 4 months of conversations with you, of asking questions, of just saying hi before they're like, you know what, I really trust Erin. I'm going to join. I feel like I really want to get fit this fall. So 4 times, guys. Imagine if you just reach out to someone today and then they stop talking to you and you stop talking to them. That is a missed opportunity, because another coach is going to friend them and they're going to get that sale. So keep following up. Follow-ups are my least favorite thing of all time, but it pays off. Okay, let me just see if anyone else posted questions. Or Erin, if you have any other questions, feel free to chime in. Okay, so Jessica said, customers who say they're too busy to become a coach. So coaching is kind of different. So far, I've really just been referring to potential clients and challenge packs. But if you're pitching coaching to someone and they're all for it, except they don't have time, the one thing that I consistently say is, you know what, it really doesn't take a lot of time. The top coaches in this business spend 1 hour a day doing coaching activities. We even have a power hour document that lists out everything that you need to do that you can do within 1 hour or less daily. That's it. And they're like, sometimes they're like, oh, really? And then I'll tell them, yeah. And you know what? 90% of our team have full-time jobs and are a student and have a family. And I myself have a full-time job and I'm still able to manage it. So those two things, telling them that they don't need to work the business all the time, that they can do it when their kids are napping or when they're waiting to pick up their kids from school or 30 minutes in the morning after they work out. When you kind of relate it that way and tell them it's really not that much, and then relate it to either your personal story or a different coach's story and how they can manage it, I think that's the best you can do. You know, again, it comes down to if they're not ready, they're just not ready. And they're probably telling themselves they don't have time when really they do. But I think that relationship and saying you're not alone and this is how we're able to manage it, that's what helps me get around that. And I think that's all the questions. So as I said earlier, I came up with some tips, actually 3 tips to be exact. One of them I already talked about, and that's don't force anything. I get a lot of recognition from my potential clients when they decide to sign up saying, thanks for never pushing me, or thanks for understanding, or thanks for continuing to follow up with me. And that's all because initially I totally was like, you only have 10 days left to join. Do you want to join? And now I'm just like, all right, I host these groups monthly. I'll be here for you when you're ready. And that means a lot. Like I said earlier, people will respect you and appreciate you and come back to you if you're that understanding, rather than being like, there's 5 days left and it's on sale and I'm going to give you a $50 rebate. Do you want to join me now? You know, so obviously towards the end of the month, there's a lot of pressure to do that. But for people who just aren't ready, don't force it on them. Tip number 1. Tip number 2 is build relationships first. And you do that, so build relationships and trust first. If you're talking to someone who's brand new, right? So say I just friended someone today and I don't even have any mutual friends with them. I just saw that they also liked to run and I started a conversation with them. If I bombard them with asking them about what their goals are, what they've done in the past, how their nutrition is, if they want to join my group, even if they would be interested, the fact that they don't know me yet and I'm just this random person that's like, join me, is going to put them off, you know, and they're not going to trust you. That's not a relationship. You jumping into join my group is not a relationship. That is you just trying to get either a quick sale or a quick client. Some conversations move quicker than others, and if you do that on the first time, sometimes that's completely fine. But you need to spend time to build that relationship. Like I said, I'm talking about omelets right now with a random person. Later this month, I'm probably going to go to her page, see what else she's posting, and just like it or comment on it. And then in July, on the 1st of July, I'm going to ask her to join my group. You know, and from that process, we're going to become friends, virtual friends, and at least kind of respect one another, be interested in one another. She will be seeing my fitness posts. Even if she doesn't like them, I know she'll be seeing it because it pops up when you're talking to people. Facebook knows who you're friends with, who you talk to, who likes your stuff, and your photos pop up more on their newsfeed. So I know she's going to see them, and if she doesn't like them or comment on them, I'm going to reach out to her anyways and invite her. So that's where the trust comes in. So take that time to build trust and build those relationships, especially in the beginning of the month. Towards the end of the month, my focus definitely switches, especially if I'm not at Success Club. So towards the end of the month, if I'm at Success Club 0, I still focus on building relationships, but maybe 1 to 2 relationships a day. and I work on follow-ups galore. I follow up with every single person I've ever talked to that has said no. So follow-ups are super important, especially at the end of the month, whereas the first half of the month, I really focus on building that relationship. Okay, and the last tip that I think is the biggest one that I think a lot of new coaches and even veteran coaches that have been with Beachbody for a while, if you don't take the time to think about this, then you may not do this. And the tip, sorry, I have hair in my face. The tip is to believe in yourself and to believe in Beachbody and to value yourself. I have some new coaches who are no longer coaching anymore that joined Beachbody for the wrong reasons. First of all, they just wanted money. And when you want money, first and foremost, it's really hard to succeed in this business, as you know. But beyond that, when she had someone, or these people, I should say, have had people ready to join a challenge group, but within the conversations that they send to me, it's all about themselves. It's all about the coach and the challenge pack, and they just don't believe in themselves as the coach. You can tell from a conversation who is passionate about what they do and who believes in themselves and believes in their workouts and believes in the products and the company versus someone who does not. So my tip is really think about you as a coach. What do you offer? Me, I like building relationships, so I love that I can relate to almost anyone. I've also had a personal transformation, big or small. I've seen results from almost every single program I've done. So I believe in the products. I believe in the business. I believe in everything that we have to offer. Not only that, I believe in challenge packs. I cannot fathom why someone would not want to get the 21-day fix challenge pack and get Shakeology alone. Like, it just doesn't make sense in my head because I believe so much in the challenge pack. Like, Shakeology alone, at least where I live, comes to about $140 with after shipping. Whereas 21-day fix challenge pack, you get Shakeology, you get the workout programs, you get the portion controlled containers, you get a shaker cup, you get a free t-shirt, you get access to stream workouts on demand, you get access to chat with the trainers, you get access to Win Money Daily. 8 things, and I could go on, and people still get Shakeology alone. So my point is, focus on the awesome deals that challenge packs are. Like, you can get so much for such a great deal, and I think that since I believe in it so much, that has helped me tremendously with my clients purchasing a challenge pack. If I was just like, you're going to get Shakeology in a workout program, and it's going to be really great, they'd be like, I might go elsewhere. But when you say like everything that you offer, it will take you far. So believe in yourself. You as a coach have something awesome in front of you. You have all the resources, even if you started yesterday, to make you a great coach. So believe in your experience, in your mission, in your why as to why you started coaching, and the challenge packs and what we offer. And when you have that type of passion, even when you're typing, people can tell. You know, people can tell those coaches that are really there to help them and believe in themselves versus those that just want to sell or successful points. So believe in yourself. You guys are awesome. You're here for a reason, and focusing on all of these things as well as just having these conversations will help you. And lastly, practice makes perfect. I think when I posted this event for you guys, you should have seen my conversations initially. I didn't even really believe in Shakeology. I didn't know how to explain it, and it was hard. And now I have the scripting for you guys, and I am pretty crisp at what I say, but it takes practice. What works for me may not work for you, but I hope that you were able to grab some tips from this call, and hopefully if you keep practicing on a daily basis or weekly basis even, this will help you in your conversations and help you with whatever goals you have within Beachbody. So I'll wrap up for now. If you guys have any questions, you can always post them in the group and I can just respond, or maybe I'll do a video to respond if that's easier for my rants. But thank you so much, Erin, for joining. And for everyone listening, feel free to comment below or just ask me personally for any other questions. So have a great day. Thanks, guys.